Now, in this Sunday Morning Futures exclusive, is Texas Senator Ted Cruz, a member of both the Judiciary and Foreign Relations Committees. Senator, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning, Maria. Great to be with you.
How would you characterize President Trump's meetings this last week? You were there, as well as all of this campaigning in swing states.
Well, listen, it was terrific. On Thursday, we sat down, had lunch with President Trump. He was in excellent spirits. You would not know the degree to which he is persecuted and targeted by the Democrats. You would not know that he'd just been dragged through the mud in a New York felony trial. None of that came through. I'll tell you, he is feeling strong. He is feeling confident. He's feeling optimistic. And it was really striking in that room. The overwhelming sentiment was unity, that everyone is on the same page, that we've got a job to do between now and Election Day, and that is win in November. And the urgency was really underscored, because if we don't win in November, the damage to the country that's been done by Joe Biden and the Democrats has been enormous. And the focus in that room was winning so that we can turn the country around. We spent a lot of time talking about getting the economy going again, cutting taxes, repealing job-killing regulations, including the administration's war on energy, how we get gasoline prices down, how we unlock American energy exploration, which will benefit consumers, how we secure the border, and how we restore America's standing in the world and America's strength, rather than giving in to our enemies across the globe.
Yeah, you've mentioned really President Trump's leading positions on some of the more important ways he believes he can get this economy back on track. One of those ways he's talking about is not taxing tips. I know you want to introduce pro-worker legislation to exempt the tipped wages from federal income tax. Tell us about it.
Well, that's exactly right. This was an idea that President Trump laid out in Nevada when he was there, and I think it is a terrific idea. We talked about it quite a bit at lunch on Thursday, and I intend this coming week to introduce legislation exempting tips from federal income tax. You look at tips, there are a ton of different industries that tips provide vital elements of their compensation. Whether you're a waiter or waitress, whether you're a bellhop or bartender, whether you're a barber or hairstylist, whether you're a taxi cab driver or Uber driver, there are a lot of folks who are working incredibly hard. On average, tipped workers make about $6,000 in a given year from tips. Right now, they have very onerous record-keeping requirements that doesn't make a lot of sense. And I think the president is exactly right that it is simpler and fairer to just exempt tips from federal income tax. That means you don't have to go through the constant record keeping that is required. And I got to tell you, Maria, I think this is a manifestation of how today's Republican Party has changed. The old conventional wisdom used to be that Republicans are the party of the rich and Democrats are the party of the poor and the working class. That has been turned on its head. Today, Democrats are the party of rich coastal elites, and Republicans are the party of working class men and women, blue collar workers. To be honest, the people who are tipped workers are Republicans over and over and over again. Many of them are immigrants, they're young people, they're Hispanics, they're African Americans, they're single moms, they're struggling to make ends meet. And you want to see the power of it, just look at the reaction of the crowd in Nevada. When President Trump says that, they go nuts. They absolutely go nuts, because they see a president that is fighting for them. And I'll tell you, that single policy alone could very well win Donald Trump the state of Nevada. I think it's the right thing to do, and I'm going to be fighting to get it done, drafting the legislation and filing it this coming week.
Well, look, I mean, you see that in all of these states that he's going. He's going to the South Bronx, he's going to Michigan, he's going to Minnesota, and he's getting all these big crowds. So suddenly all these states that were really strongholds for Democrats are turning into swing states. And to your point a moment ago, you see Joe Biden in California this weekend doing that big fundraiser. Yeah. Now, he said the Democrats in the White House say that they raised $30 million at this event. It was with George Clooney, Julia Roberts, and a whole host of Hollywood big shots. That's who Joe Biden is counting on.
Yeah, look, and that's his base. Hollywood movie stars and big tech billionaires. Yeah. That's who the Democrat Party is fighting for. Environmental billionaires in California, that's who they care about. People who are in bed with China, that's who the Democrats care about. But if you're actually talking about a steel worker, if you're talking about a taxi cab driver, if you're talking about a waiter or waitress, the Democrat Party long ago abandoned those workers. And in fact, look, a steel worker, they're hammering steel mills with environmental regulations, making it harder and harder to stay in business. Truck drivers, they're hammering them with regulations, making it harder and harder to survive. Waiters and waitresses, take a look at California. Gavin Newsom, King Gavin, who jacks the minimum wage up so high that we've seen tens of thousands of waiters and waitresses laid off. That's today's Democrat Party. Far better to approach it the way President Trump and the Republicans are, which is we are on the side of the workers, and the best way to do it that has been laid out is exempt tips so that they can earn more money. And listen, the people who are working, waiting tables in tip professions, whether you're a golf caddy or a taxi cab driver, those are often people that are starting to climb the economic ladder. I think back to when my dad came as an immigrant from Cuba in 1957. He was 18. He couldn't speak English, but he made 50 cents an hour washing dishes. Oh. And from there, he made 80 cents an hour as a cook. And that was his second job. His third job was as a teaching assistant at the University of Texas. Yeah. Then he became a computer programmer at IBM, and he went on to be an entrepreneur and a small business owner, and now he's a pastor. That's the American dream, and helping people climb that ladder is hugely important.
Well, it's all very, very proud, and of course, that is who America is. Real quick, the significance of holding Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress. What does that get you? He says he's not intimidated, by the way.
Well, this has been the most lawless and partisan attorney general we've ever seen. The number of people on planet Earth who were surprised when the Biden DOJ said they will not prosecute Merrick Garland's contempt citation is zero. No person out of the 8 billion people on the planet was surprised because this DOJ doesn't care. Under Merrick Garland, DOJ exists to do two things: attack the Democrats' enemies and protect the Democrats' friends. The degree to which DOJ has been weaponized trying to stop the voters from electing Donald Trump is ridiculous, and the degree to which DOJ is protecting Joe Biden from the evidence of his corruption and protecting his friends is shameful. Wow. The damage Merrick Garland has done to DOJ has no precedent in history, and it's really sad.
Well, we're talking about it all morning. Senator, it's good to see you this morning. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Maria.
All right, Ted Cruz joining us.